Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Chris. I'm going to be making my favorite cookie dough recipe today. And so I'm going to be putting chocolate chips in mine, a different assortment of those, but you guys can feel free to add what you may, whether it be chocolate chips, graham crackers, marshmallows, hell, bananas. I don't really care. You're creative, I'm creative. Let's do this thing. And feel free to have fun along the way. Alright, so as you can see here, I got my KitchenAid, my handy dandy KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to, first step is my favorite step of all baking recipes, is creaming the sugars. I'm going to cream the heck out of these sugars. So first I'm going to start with my homemade butter. If you're going to use store-bought, I'd highly recommend you use European style butter. Fantastic. It makes a fantastic cookie. I highly recommend it. So we're going to throw that in there. Boom. Alright, make sure I'll get all that stuff in there too. And then, so that's 2 sticks of butter. And then next, brown sugar. 1.5 cups packed brown sugar. I use Harris Teeter brand, organic. Good stuff. Now last but not least is the sugar. 1/2 cup of that. Boom. So we're going to pour that in there. Boom shakalaka. I just used the only organic stuff I could find at Harris Teeter. Also good. Organic usually tastes better, but to each their own. You know, people on different budgets, you know. I ain't going to judge you. Alright, so here comes the fun part. We're going to start working it in. Alright, just a little bit. I'm going to put the lid on it so it doesn't frickin' shake and rattle around. Alright, since that's looking so good, it is time to go to the next step of this creaming the sugars and the butter together part. Forget about it. Man, that looks good. I could eat that right out of the bowl, but it's not a healthy habit. I wouldn't recommend it for you guys either. All right, boom. So next step is you add applesauce. I use natural applesauce, White House brand. Use whatever kind you want. Honestly, it's really, like I said earlier, to each their own. So boom. And this is normally the time where most recipes ask for eggs, but I like applesauce. Alright, and now I'm going to put maple syrup, 2 teaspoons. And I put 1/2 cup of applesauce, by the way. My bad, y'all. So we're going to be doing 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. If I have enough left in here. Alright. And just a little bit more for good measure. How about that? How about that? Alright. Boom. Now to mix it back together, I really like whipping it until it gets nice and fluffy, and then I incorporate the flour later, because it just makes a really soft and delicious cookie when you bite into it at the end. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for the dry ingredients. I already got the creamed everything ready over here. So we're going to start with the 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. As you can see, I'm using organic all-purpose flour from Whole Foods. King Arthur is really good stuff too as well. Alright, so make sure that's all good. Boom. Alright. And then the 3/4 of the cup right here. All right. Boom. All right. Get that in the shot a little bit better. All right. Boom. Now for the other dry ingredients, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. You can use iodized, what have you, doesn't really matter. And I add a little bit extra because it's not really that high in sodium, so it's not really that salty, and it adds a really nice complexity to the recipe. All right. And now I just need about 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Boom. Let's see. About a half. Boom. Cool. And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. All right, time for the last dry ingredient. This is improvisational. I just came up with this idea. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons, 2 heaping tablespoons of cocoa powder, raw cocoa powder, just to darken up the cookie dough just a little bit. Because we're gonna have a lot of chocolate going on in this recipe right here. Boom! So we're gonna give that all a nice little whisk. Get it all nice and incorporated. All right. See how it just changed it a little bit darker? Just a little bit. All right. And I didn't want to add too much more cocoa powder. As much as I'd like to get a little bit darker, I didn't plan for that originally, and I don't want my cookies to turn out dry. And I know they're gonna be fine. All right, boom. So that's done. So now it's time to incorporate it all. All right. Just pour a little bit in at a time. Stir it up. Boom. As you guys can see, I incorporated that using my silicone spatula. I did that by hand. I highly recommend you do that because you can overwork the dough. Do not use a mixer. You can easily overwork it, and your cookies just won't turn out right. On to the best part, the chocolate. I got a 1/2 cup of cocoa nibs, 1 cup of white chocolate chips, whole food brand. I got 1 cup, about a cup, maybe a little bit more, of milk chocolate chips from Harris Teeter. Got those for 2 for $4 on a deal this week. And then I have 1 cup of Ghirardelli dark chocolate chips. I know that looks like a lot of chocolate, but that's exactly what we're going for. Boom. Oh man, did this turn out fantastic. 5 different kinds of chocolate, dark, milk, white, cocoa nibs, and some cocoa powder in the dough. This is gonna be fantastic. Next step, we preheat the oven to 350 degrees. We're gonna be baking them for about 8 to 9 minutes. All right guys, we're on the home stretch. Now it's time to start balling some up, put them on the trays, and popping them in the oven. All right, this is gonna be great. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pat them down just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Boom, pop them in. Set the timer for 8 minutes. All right, now here's the actual time we've all been waiting for, is the finished cookie. Time to eat. Well, first let's check if they're done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You guys see how it's starting to brown just a little bit at the edge? Just a little bit. That's what we want. These are done. Oh yeah, look at these. These turned out fantastic. I wish you guys could smell these. I'm gonna call them my quintuple chocolate chip cookies. Not septuple, that's 7. I did an original take where I said septuple and I had to redo this, and that's why one of them is missing, because I'm doing another take. It was delicious, but I'm still gonna eat some more in front of y'all. My lovely assistant's gonna hold the plate. Oh, they look so good. Oh, man. Happy baking, everyone. Oh, wow, does this look good? Oh, man. 5 dive...